Why is recorded in front of a live studio audience. This is Why, with your hosts, Heidi Hedquist and Luke Poling.
You two in the Sphere. Have you watched any of the videos?
I can't do it. I'm so sad I can't do it. I won't do it. I want to go so bad. I should have already gotten my tickets. I was on I got the little email right away that was like, you're on the list, go buy them.
Right.
And now it is going to be all sold out because now everyone's watching it and it looks cool.
I don't know about that. You can still get tickets on StubHub for $250. Are they the best seats in the house?
Probably
no, they're not.
I know.
But for about $4,000 or $5,000, you can get 2 nights in the hotel, some sort of day excursion before, and then
there's another one which I think is probably now sold out, but was available for a while. That was like didn't have the day excursion, but it really actually was, when you really looked at it, wasn't a bad deal.
Yeah.
I couldn't move fast enough because no one was going. I should have just gone by myself. I don't know what I was thinking.
There is nothing wrong with going to a show by yourself.
There's nothing wrong with going to Vegas by yourself, which is what I'd be doing. I've done it. And I've never ended up in a dumpster. So I think I can handle it.
Yeah. So the reason we tell you all of that to tell you this.
Yes.
As part of the Zoo Station at the Sphere thing, they have a bar.
Of course they do.
So the Express Bar, there's 2 different places that serve drinks. There are the Express Bar serves 2 drinks.
Okay.
The obvious one, I think you'll be able to guess pretty quickly, is the Octung Old Fashioned.
Okay. Well, that's like this crap that's in an old fashioned, which I don't like.
This has a coffee liqueur in it, which seems a bit much.
Well, it's German now.
Yeah. Jameson was.
It has to be. I was going to say it has to be Jameson.
Yeah.
Because it has to truly be Irish, but something Americans can tolerate.
Mr. Black Cold Brew Coffee Liqueur, Irish Stout, Old Fashioned Syrup, which sounds disgusting.
It sounds like rough.
Something I would normally drink an old fashioned, but they lost me with the coffee liqueur.
This is not my.
But here we go. Available from the menu at the Express Bar, the Mysterious Ways. What's in that?
Ooh. That has vodka.
No.
It doesn't?
It does not.
Does it have tequila?
It does. And it's all right.
Yeah. Well, I move in mysterious ways.
This is true.
Oh, just vodka?
There's other things. Yeah, just vodka in a glass.
Is there...
Yeah, that's a different type of ways.
Drinking
just vodka out of a glass. You're close.
I'm close with cranberry?
You're close. There's some berries in here.
Oh, is it raspberry?
No. It is a strawberry infused Aperol.
Oh. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure about these bartenders. Not that because I'm not guessing them.
Right.
But these are, I don't know. It's not, and it's interesting to me. I find it fascinating that I have guessed many bands I love less. Yes. Perhaps I'm too close to it.
Lillet, Rosé, Lime, and Dragon Fruit is in the Mysterious Ways.
I'm sure this is what I would order were I at the Sphere, and I'm sure I wouldn't like it.
Yeah. So here we have 3. There's 3. I'm sorry, 4. I think one of them is pretty obvious. So there's also available from 2 to 5 p.m. and at bar top only, Sips of Surrender. See what they did there?
Yeah, I don't like it.
So drink number 1, the Unforgettable Fire.
What's in it? Hot Fireball.
No, it is spicy.
Captain Morgan.
No, it is a spicy margarita to quench a desert thirst.
I mean, I
guess,
appreciate that they're using a lot of tequila in these, but these
yeah.
are not working for me.
Edge dreamed he saw a desert rose. The Bullet, the Blue Sky.
That has bullet in it, Bulleit. This is terrible.
It's a basil infused gin and tonic gone blue.
Does it have blue curacao in it? Because that's disgusting.
Probably.
They're literally just emptying the cabinet and throwing things in. These are the worst mixologists ever. Again, not that I have no problem losing this game because my record is outstanding.
This is true. No.
But, and it's not because these are random things that no one would guess.
Right.
They just sound like they don't work together.
This does, a lot of their cocktails do sound like something around here that's referred to as a Jersey Turnpike.
Or a, oh my God, what is that called? A buffalo. What is it called? When it's all in the.
Take everything in the bar mat and pour it in.
Yes, and you throw it. Yeah. What is it called though? It's not a buffalo knuckle. It's something else. But it's something like that. It's like.
The heck
it's all in the trough.
Yeah.
It's disgusting.
The Beautiful Day. What's that?
That's a tequila sunrise.
You and Bono are just ships passing in the night. It's a strawberry and cucumber vodka lemonade.
That's probably tastes okay though, but I don't think I'd call it that. I feel like that's really, what would I call that one? Maybe they just need to be renamed. But that would be.
So.
I feel like that one
should be a tequila sunrise, right?
It should be a tequila sunrise.
I mean,
it really should.
I don't know which one of these should be a Harvey Wallbanger. Maybe the Mysterious Ways, but
yes.
So the last one, this just sounds like they poured two things in a glass and were like, here's what it is. She Wore Lemon also should be called the bottom of the barrel when it comes to names for drinks.
Right. Is it like a lemon drop, basically?
Irish whiskey in mint lemonade.
Ew. So you know what's funny? I do feel this is a Bono problem, not a Larry Mullen Jr. problem or an Edge problem or an Adam problem. I know Larry's not there, but still, maybe they let him make up the drinks, but it's not him.
Right.
Because he's a fan of our show. So
yes.
Well,
he might be actually, because they filmed that video for the new single, Atomic City. And Larry was there.
Yes.
And there's something else recently where there was like a photo and he was there.
He's yes, but for picking when they picked the drinks is what I'm saying. Most likely not involved.
Yes.
But the drinks at the Far Superior, because I'm not going to this show as of right now, event at the Beacon with Bono.
Mm-hmm.
The drinks there that they chose, and I don't think the names were that brilliantly concocted, but they were specifically for the show.
Right.
They were very weird. They were like lychee martinis, and they were like, I feel like this is him. This him going like, we want randomness. I feel he would not approve of the taste of many of these, but I do feel he said, let's mix it up and make it crazy.
Right. The other thing that you can.
And a good lychee martini is outstanding. So I'm not knocking that one.
Sure. The other thing, though, that they are serving here at the bar top, and it's on here, I'm assuming, because it's Irish connected, a Guinness and bacon jam burger, which
this sounds amazing.
That sounds great.
Yeah, this I could get on board with.
However, here's where they lose me. 4-ounce mini burger topped with caramelized whiskey bacon jam. This sounds delightful.
Yes.
And here's where they lose me. Guinness beer cheese sauce.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Now, if you wanted to give me my, fries, chips, onion, whatever's on the side with that to dip, not drenched, but you could dip. I'm okay with that. But on the burger, no, it ruins it.
I mean, shouldn't they could do like a fish and chips dish here.
Yes.
Call it a sort of homecoming.
Cute.
No muss,
adorable.
No fuss.
Yes.
Walk away.
Cute.
I mean, there's nothing called acrobat in here. If you're going to serve something that's completely weird and colorful, ultraviolet.
Where's the I will follow? Or where the streets have no name, that should be what has all the liquor in it.
Yes.
Right.
And I get it. You don't want to be serving drinks named Sunday Bloody Sunday or
No, but it'd be
Pride.
Great Bloody Mary.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that should be at the brunch at the Venetian. I'm sorry.
And I get Until the End of the World. You don't want to be serving that drink.
No.
But I think, I mean, a Zoo Station, there's something in there.
There is. I mean, a With or Without You.
Yes.
Bad.
That would also be the...
All I Want Is You.
They literally...
All I Want Is You is exactly the name for the perfect cocktail.
They literally have a song named 40.
Right? I mean, seriously.
That's wrapped up with a bow. And
what about the Hold Me, Kill Me, Kiss Me, or Hold Me, Thrill Me, Kiss Me, Kill Me?
Yes.
That is a shot if ever there was one.
Leave Me by the Dumpster Behind the Sphere.
Yes.
I always say, well, we put a parental advisory sticker on everything, but I'm assuming when we're talking about children and pretend horses, probably profanities doesn't come up a lot.
No, not usually.
Yeah.
Depends on the kid.
Yeah.
And how badly their hobby
horse
is. As an avid hobby horse rider as a child, I can tell you in family races, there was profanity flying in our family.
That tracks for your family, I feel like.
It does. So you can't say all children are well behaved and not
This is
swearing at the hobby horse races.
I was about to say, this is Western North Carolina.
Okay. So for the uninitiated, can you explain exactly what hobby horse is? And I guess a hobby horse competition, is that how you would phrase it?
Yeah. So basically, zooming kind of back out even more, this venue is a 1,600 acre equestrian resort competition venue, shopping, dining, all that good stuff. So one of our goals is to take a historically very expensive sport and make it very accessible and to really bring in the community. So we have these free family nights called Saturday Night Lights, May through October every year. And they feature free carousel rides and pony rides and face painting and all kinds of amazing family-friendly activities, live music, jugglers, something new every week, a different theme. And that all surrounds one big show jumping competition under the lights in our main stadium. So it's a way to get the community in for something fun and free and festive, depending on what time of year. And then they also get to see Olympians going around jumping 5-foot jumps in a ring. So it kind of exposes people to the sport. In 2017, our director of marketing at the time noticed that in Finland, they were having these hobby horse competitions and that it was getting really popular. This was before TikTok and Vine and that. So it was going, viral in more traditional news outlets. And she said, we need to be the first ones to do it in America. We said, absolutely, let's do it. We'll just do it as one of our fun little side activities at SNL, is what we call it, SNL. Not the real SNL.
Right. That some other words are the same. Last words different. Yes.
So I always just kind of say SNL and then forget that to other people that's not what it means. But for our purposes, we decided to do it at Saturday Night Lights just as another side free activity. Our marketing team put it on. There were like 4 of us. I was an intern at the time, and it stormed terribly. Like horrible thunderstorms, and we were supposed to do it in this tent, and we all had to run for cover at one point. But at the very first hobby horse competition in America, we had about 100 people show up, and they were so excited about it and they were so into it. And we all kind of looked at each other and said, oh crap, we're gonna have to do this every week, aren't we? And so we pretty much have since 2017. We've hosted it every year. What we do is every Saturday in July and October, and we have various age divisions and categories of fence heights, and we set up courses, and kids bring their hobby horses, and some of them are homemade hobby horses, and some of them are, purchased at Walmart or, customized from Etsy or something like that. Very wide range of spectrum. Some people dress up, some people just kind of come as they are. And we will have about 300 people sign up on any given hobby horse show. So it's really, really fun. It's always a very wholesome experience. It's very cute and competitive, and people will make t-shirts, and it's just been one of our most favorite things we've ever done, and one of the most popular things we've ever done. We used to kind of laugh at each other and kind of say, oh my gosh, these people are really flying in from California just for this free event. Like, it's not real. What are you doing? And then after a while, it is real. So we can't say that anymore. It's a real thing.
So they're doing jumping, you said, right? Do you do like steeplechase and dressage and other things like that, or do you focus solely on the jumping?
We're branching into that.
Okay.
We started with jumping because, this whole event is a side event within an event for us at this point. And so we have a little bit of a time constraint. And so we didn't want to do any subjective sports where we needed to hire a judge, do scoring that way. And so for us when we started it, it made sense to just do jumping where you're timed. You get penalties for knocking down a fence. And two, we're working with little kids. So the fences and the courses are a little bit simple, but, we'll have more complicated courses for some of the older age groups. And it's just a really fun thing that we know we can expand in the future. We're considering doing dressage in the future. We also have a lot of competitors who also ride horses with us, and they do the hunters, which is very similar to jumping, similar courses, but it's supposed to be pretty and even and relaxed, and it's judged subjectively. So there's totally a market for us to do that. And this October, we're actually doing our first barrel racing competition with hobby horses. Because awesome. We are going to be doing the WCRA Rodeo Carolina here in October. And so we're going to sneak some barrel racing into our hobby horse calendar, which is going to be really, really fun and exciting. So there's a lot of opportunity for us to grow into other sports. For us at the moment, it's more of just a time constraint. And one of the things that we've done to help grow is we've actually created the North American Hobby Horse Association. Amazing. It's a formalized thing now.
The best.
Nothing I would have imagined myself being known for or working on when I first started.
But your LinkedIn page looks unique.
But right, it's
pretty sweet.
Doing it. And we really are so dedicated to growing the sport because people get so invested in it, and it's easy for them to get involved in. And then from there, they have access to so many other things in the equestrian world, and they get to be a part of the equestrian industry. It's such an accessible, friendly, welcoming environment. So it's a really important touch point for us, and it really matches our mission of, growing the sport and celebrating, from carousel to competition. So what we'd like to do is be able to sanction horse shows throughout the United States that are kind of official and that are run to specifications so that everyone is doing the same thing, so that it's a bit formalized in the States. And then we're able to have our horse show competitors that travel throughout the States anyway compete in hobby horse competitions as they go around to different horse shows. Or people in California don't have to fly here if they don't want to. They can get competitions started there, and then they can come to our fall championship at the end of October every year. And their points, if they're in our system, are being, accrued throughout the season. And then it becomes, a little bit more on the Finland side of organization and structure and that kind of thing. So that's what we're working towards for next year, and we're so excited about it.
That's amazing. So do the winners, is there a ribbon system, a trophy, all that stuff?
Yeah. So at every hobby horse competition, we give away real horse show ribbons. So if you can't afford to spend thousands of dollars in a weekend at a horse show, which many of us can't.
Yeah.
Many of us who work at horse shows cannot afford to go horse show.
Many of us who grew up owning horses couldn't afford to do that.
Exactly. If that's not your thing and not something you're able to do, especially on a regular basis, you can come win a real horse show ribbon, the same one that people win at the horse shows. And so we'll split it too. If we have a really giant division, we'll split it into several sections so that everyone gets a ribbon. And then we also have some really generous sponsors that will send us prizes for different series. And so, every first place gets to pick out a, plush toy or a model toy or something. We've had some magazines do some subscriptions, and anything like that. It kind of varies season to season. And then we also give out like coupons for free ice creams and that kind of fun stuff that they can use that night or come back on a different day. So lots and lots of prizes. We've also done some costume type prizes if, especially around Halloween, people like to dress up, and we always, reward that. We've also done sportsmanship and best hobby horse for the homemade hobby horses as well. I would like to in the future do like a model costume class where in the real horse world, you walk your pony out and it's, judged on its conformation and that kind of thing. Yes. But the hobby horse version of that is I made my own hobby horse. Here it is. And then you have this beautiful array of all these handmade hobby horses with, custom face markings and colors and all that kind of thing. And to kind of reward those riders for all of the work that they put into them. So there's so much there.
Oh my God, it's like never ending. It's so cool. This is the coolest thing ever. This finally like a sporting event I understand and can get on board with.
We love it. And it just is so accessible and people get a kick out of it. If they sometimes they back into it like, oh, this is funny. But then they show up to a competition as they're just walking around that night, and there will be hundreds of people around this tiny little, arena just absolutely screaming these 4-year-olds on and celebrating, with each other. And, some kids are a little hesitant and the whole area is just cheering them on, and, parents get really involved with it. And it just becomes such a joyous, like celebratory event.
So before Heidi and I start looking on Amazon and booking flights, what is the age limits we're talking about? I'm assuming it's done by age or class.
Yeah. So we have a couple different age brackets, but we actually, I won't say we were forced to add. We gladly and excitedly added a 13 and up division and a parents division because people just got so excited about it. And you will have some parents standing around and they're drinking their beer and they're like, I can do that. So sometimes, we've had some parents egging us on to say, hey, will you let me do it? Or kids saying, will you please let my mom do it? And so we did end up adding a 13 and up division. And then for our championship, we have a parents division, just class as well. And in July, we actually had 3 generations that I was joking about a family from California, but there really is a family from California that has now come 2 summers in a row, have booked a whole vacation around hobby horse competition. And this year they brought 3 generations of their family and they all competed in hobby horse together. And it was just the neatest thing. And they were all so excited for each other. And it's really exploded. We will have random adults that don't have kids at the event that will walk up and be like, oh, can I join that? So it's going to get really large at all age divisions.
I love it. Like, I wonder how do you like fly with your hobby horse? Like, if you have to like travel with
you get your own plane, Heidi. Come on.
Right. But seriously, you got it because it's precious cargo. Yeah. That's like competitive sports equipment.
Right. So it's a little bit like bringing a guitar. Is the best analogy that I can think of. We had some people that they had a like custom cover made for the head of their hobby horse, and then the broomstick was sticking out, and so they just carried it around kind of like, a guitar is the best analogy I can think of. But they brought it on the plane. We had a team from the Charleston area that filmed a vlog of her journey driving up and driving back for her hobby horse competition, and she had a little like special setup in her car for it, and treated it like she was bringing her real horse to.
Was the rear end of the horse sticking out of the back of the car?
Oh, it totally was.
I was thinking his little head like sticking out the window.
Yeah, she had it like looking out the window and like waving. Yeah, it was really cute.
That's amazing.
Now let's get down to brass tacks. Handicapping. Do you do that? Do you make the younger kids carry weights?
No, we don't. We haven't gotten that advanced yet.
It's coming.
It's coming. Yeah.
It's more the course and the fence will kind of catch you out more than anything.
Yeah, I don't
And
want to get
we
caught between
also,
grandma and the rail.
no, we
Yeah.
also we don't separate by gender at all. Equestrian sports are really awesome about that. It's the only Olympic sport in which men and women compete together. And, at any competition here, division, from, your beginner riders to your Olympians and to the highest levels of sport, you're going to see men and women competing equally. And, male and female horses are not separated either. That's not a thing. So for us, it's kind of the same thing too. Like, we will separate by age and by height categories, because some people don't want to jump tall jumps and some people really want to do little stuff, and that's cool. That's fine. But I don't think, unless for some reason we have 500, 600 people show up at a time, we're not going to be like super categorizing everything. We'll see. The hobby horse page and just the concept gets so much attention without us even promoting it. This past summer, we were a little short on staff and feeling a little bit overwhelmed. And so we decided not to promote our hobby horse competitions at all. Like, not once did we post on social media about it. We didn't put it in our emails. It just it was on the website. It was there. It wasn't a separate event on our events calendar. And that page got like 20,000 impressions in
Wow.
a span of a couple months this summer, and was one of our highest viewed pages on the website. And we were actively like hiding it. And we have about 600 parents emails in our database, and we had about 300 people sign up just for 4 weeks of competition. So, and that's adults, that's not, however many kids they brought. So it was a huge summer for us. So much so that for October, we are splitting into 2 rings and running 2 areas simultaneously, so we can kind of get through everyone that's coming and make sure they get to participate and have plenty of time to do that.
That's so fascinating. That's something that very much on a whim was like, oh, let's do this. This would be fun. To see it grow. You said 2017, was that 5 years,
Yeah.
6 years? All of a sudden
Yeah.
it's this thing that you can't advertise.
No.
It's
And
amazing.
if we stop doing it for any reason, people freak out on us.
Yeah.
There was one time that it was quite stormy, and I think it had stormed a lot previous to the event. And so the area that we did it was like completely soupy. It's a grass area.
Track was
And it
muddy.
drains pretty
Gotcha.
well, but it was not drained yet. And, so there's puddles this big, and I'm like, guys, like, it's not safe for you to be running around. Like, you're going to slip, you're going to fall. Like, we're going to have to cancel. And some of these parents got so upset with us that we were forced to hold the event anyway. Because the parents and the kids were like, look, we signed a waiver, guys, we're going, like, we're gonna do it. And so we were like, okay, like, if you're sure. And sure enough, these kids were covered in mud, like soaking wet, had the time of their lives. And it made for some adorable pictures. But it's kind of an ongoing theme for us of, we're always surprised by how invested people are and how excited they are to participate, no matter what the circumstance. They're definitely not fair weather riders. They're in it any chance they get.
They're true horse people.
Mm-hmm.
No matter what the weather, they're in.
And do you see a lot of kids starting off in this program and then saying, I want to try horse riding, I want to try this sport?
Yeah, we don't have enough data, like strong data, on who goes from hobby horse to a real horse, or even vice versa. Sometimes there's a lot of kids that do ride and then they do this on the side for fun. I like to say that in any barn, as we've talked about, there's always a group of kids having a horseless horse show, whether they have stick horses or not. They're running around and pretending. So the concept isn't necessarily new, but we'll have kids, even if they're not competing, they'll be out practicing on the hobby horse jumps, or trying to jump as high as they can without a hobby horse on any given day. That area stays open for people to access all week. So we get such high engagement on that, that it just, people never stop training and practicing. And everyone's brothers that get, dragged on to the horse show. They're out there seeing how high they can jump and how fast they can go around a course, or they'll have the family dog out there and they'll be making it jumps and seeing how high their dogs can jump. So there are people that get involved in hobby horse because they just happen to be at the show for the week with, a family member, or they have a family member that's working at the horse show. We've had some judges and officials and really high level staff members of the horse show, have brought their kids along every summer for vacation, and those kids they don't do anything with the horse show otherwise. They're not competing or riding, but they think it's really fun to run around the hobby horse course and win some ribbons and have their dad cheer them on and that kind of thing. So there's kind of a good mix, I'd say, and about 50-50 of our competitors are horse people versus just in the community and nearby. Trying to think of a better way to say that. About 50% of our hobby horse competitors own horses and ride horses regularly, and then the other half are local community members who may or may not have a horse, but hobby horse is the main reason that they come and compete.
Now, it's the end of the night. Everyone's gone. You've shut down. It's Saturday turning into Sunday. Do you and the other employees at the arena, do you guys get out on the track? And who's got the best time?
So we haven't done it at after hours before. However, at our last fall's championship, we had a really strong staff contingent show up for the adults division. And it is a frequently brought up fact, oh, well, I was the hobby horse champion, or I got third place. And that is frequently talked about in our circles by the staff members who participated in our adults division of the championship. So we've all done it.
I was gonna say, you're avoiding the question. Have you done it?
I've done it on the news once. It was nice. It was fun. I'm telling you, I did not think that my job would involve so much stick horses and being silly and running around and jumping, but it does. I've been on the news. I've helped teach people on the news how to do it. We had Snapchat come out and do a video about it one time. We've done little videos and content with some miniature horses, explaining it and having the miniature horses jump over our little jumps. And most recently, we actually had a bluegrass band that was here for a music festival. And they wanted to get some B-roll of them performing music in a barn with a horse. And we were like, yeah, we can set that up. We have barns and there happen to be horses on site. We can totally make that work for you. And so they filmed that little segment. Great, easy, good, done. And then their social media team walked up to our events director and said, hey, I don't know if you've seen this, but there's this thing called hobby horse in Finland. And we were like, oh, you don't even know who you're talking to. You're talking to the North American Hobby Horse Association right now.
Sir.
We are fully aware. And so they were like, well, we brought our own hobby horses to do a video since you're the equestrian center. And we said, okay, well, we'll bring you more hobby horses, because they had 5 people that wanted to participate. And so we brought hobby horses, a podium, some fences, champagne, the whole 9 yards, prizes, all of it. And they filmed a video of them being kind of silly, and they made it kind of Wes Anderson-esque style. And it was by and far the funniest and most fun content we've ever created with hobby horse, because they got really competitive about it. And they were diving over the fences and falling. All of this was before they went on stage to perform to thousands of people. And we were kind of laughing, but also terrified that they were going to break themselves before they had to go on stage. And it was one of their best performing reels that they ever posted. And I think the one that we posted is at 940,000 views or something at this point.
That's it.
Right. That's it.
Yeah.
So yeah, and that was just, again, a one-off, spur of the moment kind of funny thing. But they rode hobby horses onto the stage and off. They were so dedicated to that bit. So it's just one of those things that it always keeps coming back, and it's always such an interesting way to get people's attention. Our story and our venue is so difficult to capture in one sentence, one picture, even because there are so many layers to what we do as, a non-equestrian sports venue, an entertainment venue, and then also a horse show, also shopping, also lodging. There's so many different ways you can back into this place, but hobby horse seems to be one of the most accessible and eye-catching and interesting. So we're definitely dedicated to making it a bigger and bigger priority as we go forward, which is really fun.
For more information on the Tryon Equestrian Resort, check out their website, resort.tryon.com. You can also find them on Facebook, where they're at facebook.com/Tryon Resort.
Why the Podcast is produced by the Professional Production Company. Please be sure to rate and review us on Apple Podcasts, because we're shallow and need constant validation. For more information, you can check out our website, whythepodcast.com. And like everyone else, we're on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Today's show was recorded and produced by Heidi Hedquist and myself from our world headquarters, located on the second floor of the professional office building, centrally located downtown. Our reluctant executive producers are John Sauvé and Sandy Stone. Our willing producers are Rachel Allen and Randy Jeanette. Our intern is Zach Jackson. This one's for Philippe. Thanks for joining us. Flash, we're coming home.
Nigel, is that you? Are you here, Nigel?